Hey guys, hope you enjoy part one. Here is part two with Michelle Wickman. Well,
Yeah.
speaking of that, so you and energy, you definitely made a choice. I'd say, what was it, early in the pandemic, to kind of change your morning routine?
Yeah. Well, no, it wasn't early
Was
in the
it?
pandemic, actually. It was just, I think it was like summertime,
Mhm. Okay.
around like late summer, fall.
Hmm.
Um, when I noticed that the gym that I had a membership at, they started taking their classes outside. So they take their equipment outside in the mornings. And I mean, we're talking about, the assault bikes, row machines, weights, all that stuff. Um, and they do all the workouts outside. They have the spray bottles, cleaning bottles and clean rags for
Hmm.
every person who comes in. And for a while, I was really uncomfortable with the idea of working out inside. And then I noticed that they're working out outside. So I finally was like, yeah, okay, I'm going to go back. And so I go to the 5 a.m. class, which means I
Hmm.
have to wake up at 4, but I've changed it to 4:10 because I like those extra 10 minutes. I need those extra 10 minutes. Um, and it really has become part of like really just my entire, I don't want to say my entire life, but it kind of has. Like it just sets my day off
Exactly.
in such a great way.
Hmm.
And the beautiful thing about continuing to go work out at this is more of a boot camp
Hmm.
style gym. So like a studio type or boutique style space, is that you begin to get to know the people that go, especially the 5 a.m.ers. And Jamie,
Hmm.
I know you know this.
Yeah.
It's the same people
Every day.
because there's only one kind of person, there's a
Yeah.
specific kind of person that's willing to go in every day at 5 a.m. And except for the weekends, they have 7 a.m. on
Hmm.
Saturdays. So I get
Yeah.
to sleep in.
It's a
I
little
know,
bit.
sleep until 6, which is actually, I'm awake anyway.
Yeah,
But
exactly. Me
I
too.
know, I'm like, darn it. I just, sleeping in has not been my thing since, pre-child,
Yeah.
really. But that's neither here nor there. So even in times when, things get really stressful, like I do still experience anxiety. I used to experience a great deal of anxiety. I've had a panic attack. And this all transpired years ago, but I started working on or with mindfulness and meditation,
Mhm.
and I have never experienced anxiety to that level since. And all of that being said, I still get bouts of anxiety. And I think, particularly during again, the political climate that we're experiencing and have experienced, especially in the last like 5, 6 months, as it overlapped with the pandemic, I was like, woof, this is
Yeah.
getting a little stressful. And so having that morning routine of 5 a.m. and see the same people and even have relationships with those
Mhm.
individuals now. I mean, not like we're going out to eat. Sometimes we might get coffee afterwards and then walk around the parking lot, but it's just knowing that there's a level of relationship and accountability that's built in there, and they are looking for me, and when I don't show up, I'll get messages on social media of like,
Yeah.
hey, where were
Where
you?
were
And I'm
you?
like,
Exactly.
I better go back. you know so it's been such a beautiful routine, and it just sets my day off
I
in
was
such a
gonna
great way.
I asked Anna this too. Does it do you think about it if you don't go?
Yes.
All day, right?
So yes, this morning I set my alarm and I still woke up, and it was raining, which means that they'll move the class inside. They'll
Mhm.
have all the doors open, and they limit the number of people who can go. And so I decided not to go because I personally am not comfortable with the indoor workouts yet.
Mhm.
Um, and that being said, I just decided not to go, but I'm still up,
Yeah.
mind you. So I'm like stretching, I'm doing a little bit of yoga because I'm like, okay, well, I'm still up, but I miss everything about that workout. I
Mhm.
miss my sweating and my heart beating. And seeing the people and pushing myself and a
Yeah.
little bit of soreness that you feel afterwards.
Right. Which is good, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I miss it. So,
But yeah, it's same for me. If I don't go for whatever reason, I think about it probably once an hour throughout the day.
oh
Just like, "Oh, I
no,
can't believe I didn't go. I can't believe I
I
didn't
know.
go." And that's just like one thing you should one less thing you shouldn't have to think about or
Yeah,
worry about. And it's really
yeah,
on you, right? It's a decision that you made,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
exactly,
and
exactly.
I don't know how Anna does it. I can't do it with my alarm being right next to me. I mean,
Mm.
you know me, my alarm's in the kitchen, so I have to get up and go get it. I wake up the entire house, but yeah, if it was right next to me, I'd look at it and
Oh yeah,
just
no, no. I once that alarm. Well, I have begun to snooze once. And that's been part of my routine. But the snooze is typically I do some breathing exercises just to like get my body ready to get up too.
Mhm.
So, you know, some deep breathing, box breathing exercises, things of that nature to just really wake up my body and wake up my brain and kind of eliminate some of that grogginess.
Yeah,
Sometimes it works, sometimes it
yeah.
doesn't.
I'd breathe myself right back to sleep if I did
I know.
that.
Yes, you would.
Well,
Lucky you.
this morning I was up at what, 2:20? So, I've been up since then. I
What
don't
why did you wake up at 2:20?
no idea. I mean, there's times now where, like, right at 5 hours, I'm, like, wide awake.
5 hours? Oh, you're like Martha Stewart.
Yeah, okay.
It's like she famously once said, "I only have to sleep 4.5 hours a night," or
Yeah.
something like that.
I had a teacher in college, he slept from 11 PM to 2 AM every day.
No.
Yeah, how
But
does
you
that
do nap, don't you?
mm, maybe once a week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's usually around Thursday. It usually catches up to me about Thursday.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Ah, I need to take a quick 20 minutes."
Yeah. Usually it's Thursday morning
Yeah.
at, 4:45 and I'm in the gym and or like, at the gym and just like, I'm tired today.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
feeling
weird.
it.
It definitely catches up to you.
Yeah, but 5 hours is a no-go for me. I still need at least 6.5.
I
No
get there
way.
most of the time, that's about where I'm at. I typically if I get to bed at 9, it's typically 9 to 4, typically.
Yeah.
And then but so sometimes at 5 hours, I bounce right out of bed. I don't know why.
I mean, if it works for you, then great.
I wouldn't say it works. It just happens.
Okay, well, then maybe not great. Not
All right.
great.
So goals.
Yeah.
You said, I mean, you and I have gone through this a lot. In fact, you're probably one of the first people, however you want to say it, that really kind of made me look at them a different way. So do you set annual, daily, weekly? What is it that you do?
Yeah, so I set annual goals, and then typically I'll break that down working backwards over the quarters, and then I'll break it down into more monthly and then weekly, and here's the situation. Sometimes that works on certain goals, and sometimes that's just not going to work
Yep.
because things change so rapidly. And
Mhm.
even what's important to me can change so rapidly. So I have this big goal and I've built a whole year plan on this big goal. And what's important to me is not that anymore.
Right.
So it kind of takes all this work that I put into it and all this thought that I put into it. And it makes me feel almost like it makes me judge myself a little bit,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Like I had this big year goal and I was working towards it. And now it's not important to me at all. Ugh, like
Yeah.
I'm a failure.
Well,
Judgy.
I don't think and I see what your point is, but I definitely don't think it's a failure because I think
No,
it's learning about what is important to you.
sure. No, I hear you. And I think the quick summary and the quick judgment of it is fail. because you're
Mhm.
not going to go after that goal anymore.
Right.
Now, if you look at it as I just want to really assess and realign with what's important to me now, because what was important to me a year ago, what was important to me 6 months ago, even is different.
Totally
I mean,
different.
that's how much life is changing for us.
Mhm.
That's how quickly life changes for us, including having kids, because
Mhm.
that's still going to be important to us. But what's important to them and how we can support that is going to look different.
Right.
So yeah, I'm with you. We talked about this and looking at it more from a quarterly standpoint, or as you put it, like a 12-week goal plan
Yep. Yep.
is much more manageable and it doesn't feel so just out of out of reach in terms of physically out of reach, but also mentally out of reach,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
Especially when you have big goals, it's hard to get there sometimes mentally when it's so big and it's a year away and you're like, how the heck am I actually going to do that? You
Or you
know?
push or you could be the opposite. You could be like, "Oh, well, I still have a year."
Yeah,
You
there
know,
you
there's
go.
there's another way of looking at it like
Are
that
you a
too.
procrastinator?
Yeah.
Yes, I am. And I will take advantage of that 52 weeks right up until 50 weeks when nobody
Exactly.
wants to work with you because it's Christmas, you know?
Oh my gosh. I won't put this in this, but, Brandon Turner on Bigger Pockets had talked about how he had a goal and, that he had set in 2020 to I believe it wasn't buy a trailer park, it was to buy something, right? He's like,
Mhm.
this is one of my goals, I'm gonna buy this." And I guess it was like, don't quote me, late December, mid to late December, where he had like 9 days left or whatever it was, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, I had this goal to do this and I didn't do it." And within that time period, he bought what he said he was gonna get. But he was like, had I actually applied that to the first quarter, I might have done it 4 times or whatever,
Yeah,
but he procrastinated on that one in particular, and probably
that's
he
so
may have,
interesting.
yeah, may have cost himself more.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's a good learning,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
How you set your goals is a good learning. It's like maybe it's not a year goal. Maybe that you can do it in 12 weeks, but you're
exactly.
like, I'm so uncomfortable just thinking about it. I'm going to make it a year-long goal and then wait 3 quarters
Yeah.
of the year to start it.
And I think that's, with us, I think that was why we said, okay, if our goal is 20 real estate deals, we have to get started now or we won't even come close.
Hmm. Is that your
There's
year long?
mhm.
Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
we'll have 2 in the first, what, 6 weeks, so technically we're already behind. But I said to Shay, I go, "Since we're behind, if we buy a fourplex, does that count as 4?"
I say yes. And then you still like push it, you
Yeah.
know? It's like, I think you guys aren't looking at the cadence so much as just the opportunity.
Mm, for
Can
sure.
we make this work?
Yeah.
Yes. Is the opportunity there? Yes. Will you figure out how to get the finances and everything in place? Yes, you will, because you have that mentality now.
Yeah. It's definitely the mindset has changed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you might end up doing 40 deals this
Yeah.
year.
Who knows, right? That would be
Yeah.
awesome, though. That'd be fun.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
You might need some help, but
Yeah, right? Definitely might need that.
yeah,
Uh,
that'd be awesome. That'd be a great problem to have.
mhm.
Yeah, I agree. Let's
Yeah.
let's let's find some of those good problems to have.
Exactly. Alright, so where is Michelle gonna be in 5 years?
Oh my gosh, that's such a good question. Why do I want to set a goal? I'm just kidding. I also do. I like to do vision setting, basically. So it's really just it's a meditation. You can do a guided vision setting meditation. And then just kind of write it out. So I will think about and ask myself a bunch of questions of like, what do I want my life to look like? When I open my eyes in the morning, what do I want my space around me to look like? Who's around me? Things of that nature. Like, what does my day to day activity look like? So in
Mhm.
5 years, I'm definitely still working. Because what I've
Damn.
also learned, I know in the last like year of the pandemic, is that I don't like not working.
Mm.
That is,
It's interesting, right? Because how many people would sit there and go, "Man, I would love to not work anymore."
oh no.
Yeah, it, I don't know how you, it's either that or you just figure out something else to do that
Yeah,
really interests you. But yeah,
yeah.
it's a weird thing to sit there and go, yeah, I would love to win the lottery and quit working.
Oh,
'Cause
I'd love to win the lottery. Don't get me
yeah,
wrong.
right. Yeah.
Again, it's a good problem to have. Like,
Exactly,
let's
right, yeah.
work on those good
Yeah.
problems. I'd love to win the lottery, and I'm sure I can find ways to still work and
Mhm.
invest my energy and my energy currency in different like avenues that would be, beneficial to whatever, like the causes that are important to me, and then even just to like that are fulfilling for myself.
Mhm. For sure.
So, in terms of vision setting, um, it's interesting because in 5 years, my son will,
Don't tell me he's gonna be 18.
he's going to graduate.
My bad. Terrible question.
I know, from high school. And
Oh, man.
so I'm not necessarily tied to San Diego anymore.
Right.
And I've thought about this specific question
Mhm.
this year because it's usually, what do I want in 1 year, 5 years, 10
Yeah.
years?
So you're there right now.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
5 years, I got really confused on because I'm like, I don't necessarily have to be in San Diego. I love my hometown.
Mhm.
Um, I love being here. I love the climate. I love everything about it. And I love having friends close by. And I think that there's opportunity for growth in other areas too. So I think I'll probably be not in San Diego
Oh,
in
yeah?
5 years. I don't know where that means.
Yeah.
And I thought about Arizona for obvious reasons, because that's where Jamie and Sherry are.
Yeah.
Um, and with my own business,
Mhm.
still as an entrepreneur, potentially also potentially a secondary business. So I
Got
want to
it.
diversify a little bit, but again, we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a oh, man, I didn't even think about that when I asked the question that he's gonna be 18. I really when you said that, I was like, "Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's not far."
No, it's not. It happens in a blink of an eye.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first 13 years.
I should have asked I should when I asked that question, I should have thought about it, and I'm like, "Gosh, then my oldest will be 14, and the other one will be 10."
Yeah. You better have all of your real estate in order and managed through your property management company
They're gonna be doing
so
it,
that
not
you can go to all the games.
yeah, right. Well, that is all I have.
Is that
I
it?
That's it. I appreciate the time. It was fun.
Yeah, it was great. Thank
Yeah,
you. Thank you for having me on. I love talking things, goals. I love just
yeah,
talking to you too. So,
yeah. We have good conversations quite a bit. So
yeah,
yeah,
it goes on many tangents.
it, yeah.
Typically, this was pretty
This was.
focused.
Hope you enjoyed both of those episodes with Michelle Wickman. She is a great person. She's great to be around, great to talk to. If you'd like to know more about Michelle, you can reach her on her Instagram at Wickman_wellness. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs down, subscribe, let me know how I did. Have a good one.